Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Wasteland 3, where it seems that I blinked, and then the Major was no longer here, having been replaced by just this bag. Was the Major a bag the whole time? Anyway, let's loot it. What have we? Ooh, some armor. I do not know what 1 point of armor means in this game yet. Expert pipes. The small silver brooch is a collection of pipes. The inscription on the back reads, awarded to LK for musical excellence. Price, the same as that dirty sock we found earlier. And then a new rifle, which is very exciting, and a whole bunch of bullets. Absolutely give me all that stuff. And then garbage. Ooh, a spent Bic lighter. Same monetary value as a silver brooch, obviously. And a rocket launcher. That's exciting. And then more garbage. Yep, more garbage. Old handkerchief, same monetary value. Well, I think this might be a good time. First of all, we're all pulsing to indicate we have leveled up, but also somebody needs this rocket launcher. So how do I left shift is compare? There we go. That's what I wanted. Yes, it is strictly better. It's not even like the pistol we picked up where it's probably better, but there are some trade-offs. This is just like straight upgrade. And then we did not actually give Skelly a point of explosives. I think based on the way that the pyromaniac trait works, there's sort of two directions we could take Skelly in, right? We could try to just focus on things that do fire damage, but try not to use anything that actually explodes. So like fire grenades out, but flamethrower is fine, with the intention of avoiding all of the downsides of the pyromaniac trait while still getting to do lots and lots and lots of fire damage. But we also could just, try to get tough enough to endure some fire. I'm sure there's a way to get fire resist. And maybe just make Skelly the one who does all of the wild shit and also sometimes catches on fire. And I'm going to sort of lean in that direction for the moment. Somebody should have the rocket launcher equipped, right? And then we have 3 armor and 1 armor and some combat speed. Where do can I... No, there's no tooltip here. Can I get a description anywhere? No. None of this stuff looks like a sort of an encyclopedia or anything. Shoot. Well, I really wish I knew what 1 point of armor meant. Like, is a point of armor a flat damage reduction, or are we doing a system where it like converts to percentage reduction, or it's hard to know how valuable this stuff is. Well, given that both of our characters are kind of up close, I'm gonna split the armor up, give us both some toughness, but we're gonna give Jim more toughness because he is definitely more likely to get shot a whole bunch. And actually, that looks pretty cool. I appreciate that it like inherits your colors. It's got the blue on it. That's really nice looking. Okay, and then skills. So we have racked up 3 skill points. I wasn't paying enough attention to our XP to know if we filled our bar 3 times or if we did it once and it's just, you get... I guess we know that you get skill points based on your intelligence, right? Because there was a perk that increased the skill points. Or maybe not based on your intelligence, but certainly at least potentially more than 1 per level. Because there was a perk that increased the number you get per level. Alright, so we did in fact take a point of hard ass on Skelly, which I had totally forgotten by the time it became relevant. My brain is just like that sometimes. So what does this perk actually do? At level 3 we unlock, it doesn't say. Can I get like actual information on this screen maybe? Oh, here we go. Here's where the numbers are. So, enemies have 25% less benefit from cover when attacking them. Yo, that seems great, actually. What else is in this tree? Tears up an enemy with twice as many SMG bullets as your normal attack. Does it... Nope, there's no other version of it for other weapons, so I guess this one's just an SMG thing. As is this. Boy, just stand in the open for bonus damage seems pretty scary. Okay, so this tree is sort of split in half. I think we definitely want a 3rd point of automatic weapons then. And then, do we want to push it again? I mean, we don't... It's 3% hit and sometimes perk access per point. 3% hit is pretty valuable, but like we also need to broaden our effectiveness, right? There are a lot of things we cannot yet do. You get Skelly better at shouting at people. which in theory I do like. We could start leaning into explosives. Let me go to perks here. Leaving the screen will confirm pending... Yeah, the point I allocated is there on purpose. Oh, I don't get to see the explosives line on this screen unless we actually have a point in explosives. Weird science can teach us to make a weapon deal bonus damage, but also have a chance of exploding. Doesn't seem great necessarily. Energy damage is increased for every point of armor the target has. That's actually really interesting. And energy attacks have a 10% chance to electrocute enemies, arcing electricity off of them. Those both seem cool. I mean, I kind of took the weird science thing in the hopes that it would help with fire-based weaponry, though. So we could lean more into that. We could start picking up explosive stuff. It's really hard to see. Like, can I get my... There we go. Now I can get the cursor over here and... Oh, it doesn't actually have any more information. New perk available, duck and cover. Maybe it makes you more resistant to explosive damage. The thing with Pyromaniac is it causes her to catch on fire sometimes when she uses explosives, right? So actually, we don't need this. We need fire resistance. We could pick up some exploration stuff. We could learn to repair toasters. Still seems like kind of a weird thing to have a whole skill around. I'm gonna have her pick up some weapon modding. I know we had talked about that a little bit. She's into guns. She's very into guns. You know what? Let's give her 2 points of weapon modding so she can get whatever the heck that perk does potentially whenever we get access to perks. I'm assuming we'll get a perk point like every X levels. That's the way a lot of these games work. So field stripping has a chance of providing weapon mods. Seems useful. Party finds more bonus ammo when looting. So at a minimum of +1, this seems like really valuable for weapons that have very, very poor ammo. Like for weapons where you don't find bullets usually. And field stripping yields more scrap. Okay, well she'll be the one who works with all the guns. All right, let's talk about Jim. What's Jim's deal? Jim could pick up some more handgun skills. So right now, Jim has the ability to buy... Fires a shotgun shell shot that inflicts bleeding on anyone hit. So I assume you have to be using a weapon that fires shotgun shells to do this. This gives you more strike meter, which means you get to shoot people in the eye more often, which I'm into. So let's make sure we buy him a 3rd point of small arms. And then what else is down that tree a little bit? Handgun shot that has minus 50% hit chance, but you gain 3 AP and your strike meter is instantly filled if it hits. Yo, that seems really interesting. Also bonus damage against marked targets. But I don't know anything about marking people. First attack after reloading costs no AP. That's pretty cool. Attacking a melee enemy on the turn after they hit you deals 50% damage. What a strange thing to be in the small arms. I guess the idea is that you'll be close to people, so yeah, maybe not so wild. Provides +2 AP to allies in a radius around you at the cost of 4 AP. So probably pretty good once we have some more allies. Right now it seems like a terrible trade-off. Demoralize. It's like the opposite. Insult your enemies, distracting them and reducing their hit chance by 20%. Yo, that seems great, actually. Big bonus to animals and mutants, big bonus to damage against animals and mutants, and instantly reveals the entire world map and all discoverable locations. That seems... I mean, it seems like a thing that's maybe not worth spending a perk point on, because you could just get that otherwise, right? But I don't know, maybe that's cool and powerful. Maybe we should put some more points into survival. Alright, let's... What else do we want to push? I mean, leadership seems pretty good in general. I mean, obviously, like, hit chance matters. How much hit chance do we get off of... Okay, same deal as the other skill. It's 3% per point. But Jim is supposed to be the one of us that's a little bit more generally technically minded. I don't know that Jim would have a lot of experience with, like, computers, though. I think he's more of, like, let's grab lockpicking. It's probably a good idea for someone on the team to have lockpicking, the way these games usually work. And then, Do we want him to be stealthy? I'm gonna have him be stealthy too. I don't know if this is the right thing to do with our skill points. Is there just a button on this screen anywhere that confirms? There is not. You just get an opportunity to confirm when trying to leave the screen. What a weird way to implement that. Okay, you know what? I think actually I'm gonna unequip his pistol and we're gonna give him the other rifle. He is not generally a rifle guy, but I think this is a better secondary weapon to have. So anything he could do with the one pistol, he could do with the other, right? So is there a map? Okay, yeah. So if we miss the opportunity to do the Major Tom thing, I don't know where it would be, because the map looks super linear. Did we, we ran past a thing that we couldn't interact with earlier. Was it a thing that we couldn't interact with because we didn't have lock picking? Because now we could totally maybe pick a lock. Gotta be careful not to run into that scary robot down here. Yes, it was in fact a thing that we couldn't do because we couldn't pick the lock. Let's have just Jim come down here. I think we should be okay. He doesn't come close enough to see this, right? Yeah. Give me stuff. Okay, additional scout armor. So I guess we both get to wear... a scout armor vest. Cool. I don't know exactly how good 3 armor is, but my suspicion is that was worth coming back for. We'll just keep an eye out up ahead for Major Tom. It's so weird to me that they put an icon on the map for just like mouse over this to see the name of this area instead of actually indicating stuff. Looks like this on the map is maybe enterable. Hell yeah, free stuff. Found ourselves some focus. Used to feel like you could kiss the sky. Plus 30% crit chance for 36 turns. That seems significant. But suffer minus 10 evasion for 720 turns afterward. So I guess this tells us that the turn is the only unit of measure in the game, because otherwise you would not. Otherwise you would measure a time like 720 turns in like hours or something, right? Plus 35% con per turn over 3 turns. Amount healed increases with first aid skill level. Okay. Did we buy any first aid? We didn't, did we? I feel like Jim would know some... That'll be a priority in the future. Jim should know a little bit. It doesn't really feel like Skelly's thing. Hell yeah, Rocket. What's your deal? Major... As you get close, you see the cat has a dog tag rather than a collar, which is embossed with the name Tom. It's a cat that likes cigarettes? I mean, I guess... There's mutants and stuff. This isn't that weird. Tom climbs down to you, eager for a smoke. Sure. Why not? So what is the deal with this cat now? Major Tomcat fixes his steely gaze on you, then wiggles his tail expectantly. No, I don't want to dismiss... I don't want to dismiss our fellow ranger. You deserve a scritch behind the hat, Major Tomcat. Well, that is certainly behind the hat. A little further than I would have guessed we were implying. That's it? That's all the... Okay. Is he like a party member now, or... No, he just gives me 6% crit. But only Jim gets it. Okay. Well, I guess I'm glad we got those cigarettes then.
Hey, Jared, little brother, how goes that deluge-your-blood? You dry gulch them Hotlanders yet? Erastus! Jared's dead! They killed him! Gunned him down like a dog! What? No! No! If I ever catch who did this, they're dead! Every last one of them! You hear me? My brother will be avenged!
So, wait a second. Isn't Casio, don't you have to have, like, a permission to use the name of a company in this way? Did they... did they do a brand deal with Casio? This seems real cool. I'm sure we'll eventually have a character who likes to punch things. This seems like a wonderful thing. Let's just go ahead and grab them, assuming I'm not going to be allowed to walk out of here. Yeah. Alright, well. Then let's take the Killmobile.
Was that Major Prasad? They got her?
Oh, don't worry. She was a bag the whole time.
Fuck this place. Fuck it.
I mean, she's not wrong to be upset, I guess. We've had a very difficult day. The Desert Rangers were founded by Army engineers who survived the nuclear apocalypse. What a calming factoid to receive here in our moment of desperate grief. So, I don't know exactly how many of us there were at the beginning of the ambush, but it sure as hell was a lot more than 3. So I'm not 100% confident those dudes weren't with the Patriarch, right? Like, who knows what level of double cross we're seeing here.
You may approach the Patriarch.
I guess we're about to find out.
3 when there were 50. Cold logic says I should turn you away. That there aren't enough of you left to do the job at hand. But that Dorsey ambush was my fault. And I owe you more than explanations and apologies. So, here's something more tangible. The Dorseys didn't just attack you. They attacked my city. This one was trying to burn down our jail. If you want some vengeance for what was done to you, he's yours.
Alright, well, obviously my opinion is softening a little bit on the Patriarch. Like, when a man calls you up and he says, "Hi, I'm the dude who owns Colorado," I think it's reasonable to form some basic assumptions about what he's going to be like, but he's all, like, taking responsibility for his failures and stuff. I'm softening a little bit here. I think Skelly would super want to kill this dude, and not even really because of the ambush, just because she does love a murder.
Be my guest. Well done.
Thanks, I guess.
All the Dorseys, and maybe before all this is over, I will. But for now, let me address your immediate needs. In addition to this base and the aid I promised your general, I'll be giving you the resources to return your force to full strength. Recruiting, training, and equipping. It's not enough. I know. The men and women you lost can never be replaced, but it's what I can give you. I hope you'll accept it.
Yo, dude is not just taking responsibility, but is, like, expressing genuine remorse, and also genuine seeming remorse, let's not get ahead of ourselves, and, like, trying to make things right. Maybe the Patriarch's alright. So I think most of the talking is going to be handled by Ratty or Jim, right? So he's kind of a nice guy. I think we're going for some version of thank you. I guess these are all some version of thank you. No deal. If the ambush was your fault, then you owe us. Give us our supplies and let us go home. Something tells me he's not going to be amenable to that, and also that doesn't really seem like the way Jim would handle this. Thank you, Patriarch. We appreciate anything you can do for us.
I'm glad to find you so amenable. I hope that means we're going to get along.
I really like the character animation so far.
Introductions. My name is
Ew.
Saul Buchanan. I own Colorado, though you'll meet some who disagree. This base is your new home. From here, you'll aid my people and, more importantly, do the job I brought you here to do. Now, yes, Joe?
Pardon, Patriarch. It's Daisy. An update on the Garden of the Gods?
All right. Sorry, Rangers. Still putting out fires. 2 of my best are waiting for you inside. Darius Kwan of the Marshals and my old friend Sergei Greatsky. Go see him. I'll be in when I'm done here.
Sergei Greatsky is an extremely good name. So, obviously, I got some reservations about a man who cloaks his implements of violence in the flag. That's, historically speaking, that's not a great sign. But you can't say his giant flag and statue fist mace is not super cool. Alright, what do we got? Jody, hey Jody, how's it going?
I need to rest a spell. Catch my breath. That all right with you?
I suspect that it does not matter whether it's alright with me or not, because it's going to have to happen either way. How are your injuries? You recovering okay?
I'm still healing up. Go out and find your footing while I get back on my feet.
Okay, well, I'm relatively confident she's not going to die. Are you missing Arizona?
Oh man, more every day. This place is nice and all. Kind of majestic with all the mountains and wild weather, but it's hard to enjoy it when I know everybody back home is dying by inches.
Alright, I have to click.
We gotta finish up our business with the Patriarch and get the supplies he promised us back home. People are counting on us. My folks are counting on us.
One thing that often bums me out in games like this is when the story continually tries to instill a sense of urgency in you, but mechanically no such sense of urgency actually exists. I hope that there's some, this is a compelling reason for us to want to get things over with quickly here, and maybe, to force us into making rash decisions that will cause us to make mistakes, which will have interesting narrative or mechanical consequences, and I really hope that it's not just, unenforced talk.
Sorry. I just want to get this done and get back to him.
Alright, well, we'll talk to you later, I guess.
Later.
It is super weird to have a situation like that where a character has 3 lines and to make me have to click after each line instead of just having them all delivered. Yo, what is your deal? Okay, fair enough. Some Brotherhood of Steel looking dudes over here. I'm still thinking we're gonna end up in trouble with the Patriarch. There's no way, right? There's no way this doesn't turn out to be him abusing us in some way. Apparently we cannot pick this door. An old weather-worn pedestal. The inscription is fading and illegible. Are you sure? Because it sort of looks like I'm just saying I can ledge it from right here, and you're okay. That's fine. Maybe they read the rest of the inscription. Immaculate. Is that a name or? I mean, my name's Red Ear Jim. I guess I have no cause to make fun. So...
Welcome, Rangers. I'm Marshal Darius Kwan, and this here's Sergei Greatsky.
Good to meet you, Rangers. Glad to see some friendly faces. Been rough around here these last few days. Dorsey's attacked us too. Snuck inside Colorado Springs and killed a lot of people. Situation's under control now. Mostly.
Yeah, it does. It sure sounds like the situation's under control. I'm guessing what the Dorseys were after was a whole lot of murders, but I guess we ought to ask.
The Patriarch. Thank God they never got near him. He's the only thing keeping Colorado from tearing itself apart.
And sorry about these alarms. Something must have triggered the old security system. Trouble is, there's a bunch of angry robots guarding the computer that shuts them off. How you deal with them is your call. Your base, your rules.
I love the way this dude is acting like he's being gracious. Look, I don't want to tell you what to do in your own house. So angry robots, huh? Why are there angry robots?
Yeah, weird, huh? They weren't active when we looked the place over a few days back, but... let's talk after you kill the alarms. I could hardly hear myself think.
Okay, that's fair. So, where are we going here? Well, apparently there's just a lot of doors in this place. Yeah, that we cannot lockpick. I do think it's interesting that they don't give you an indication of how much skill would be required to pick them. I wonder if that's just the case that like these things are locked because we haven't been given the keys yet, and doors that we are intended to lockpick will in fact do that thing. Hold on a second. Skelly, would you get over here? Okay, clicking her did not add her to the selection group. It seems to have caused him to try to murder her. So weird. Okay. Well, as far as angry robots go, these ones don't seem to be bristling with guns or anything. Hey, what's your deal? You sure do, little buddy. Pathopophed. I kind of love them. Alright. Sneaky shit 1. Security system showing signs of neglect. We could just lie to the robot. Is that gonna work? I mean, I feel like Jim would try to sweet talk him. Sweet talking robots is maybe a little bit of a strange strategy, but if it's gonna work. We're the Arizona Rangers, a successor unit of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. We are government representatives. Don't you see, robot? They're actually super adorable. I am a huge fan. Can we do something about that alarm, maybe? Yep, I love him. Alright, what about this guy? This terminal is dusty and old, but when you press the power button, it flickers to life. The computer beeps and whirs for the first time in years, we assume. As it boots up, security alert flashes across the display. Every attempt to access a menu is met with command access only. Eventually, you query the machine for command's identity, and it replies, command empty. Designate new command? Yeah, that seems like a good idea. A camera flashes above the monitor, and terrible photos of your faces slowly appear on the screen line by line. Okay, I'm glad it said of your faces, because I was worried that if one of us was going to be the thing the computer recognizes the commander, I kind of wanted it to be Jim, because Skelly doesn't know how to computer. She has no idea how a computer works. Command recognized. Security alert cancelled. Okay, well that was easy.
Well done, Rangers. Good to see the place up and running. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. The reason you're here. As you may know, I have a daughter and 2 sons. Liberty, Valor, and Victory. 2 of them conspired against me, and the third blackens the Buchanan name with every breath he takes. Consequently, I banished him.
I'm still got real mixed feelings about the Patriarch.
They've been skulking in the shadows ever since, but lately there's been rumors that I'm on my last legs. Lies, of course, but apparently my dear children believe them, and they've started making new plans.
Okay, so you want us to act as emissaries to your children? Make peace, perhaps? I don't think this is what he's asking, but this is me hoping, because we are in no kind of position to take on a large armed force right now.
Peace? With those brats, you'd sooner tame a scorpion. I'm not worried about my children defeating me, Rangers. They won't. Not even Liberty. What worries me is the destruction they'll wreak as they fail. They'll tear my land and my people to shreds. They'll burn everything I've accomplished to ash. That's why they have to be stopped before they can start. That's why you, Rangers, have to find them and bring them home to me ASAP. And when I say bring them home, I mean bring them home alive. They're my blood. Kill them and we'll have a problem. Do I make myself clear?
Still, having kind of a hard time getting a good read on this dude. Like, he's very worried about the destruction of his accomplishments, but he also does seem to care about his people, and he doesn't want us to murder his kids, which I think is probably a good sign. Yeah, I got you. Perfectly clear.
Good. Then let me tell you where they are. Victory's holed up in Aspen. Valor's under the protection of the Gippers in Denver. And Liberty's raising an army against me somewhere out on the Eastern Plains. Anything else you need to know?
Yeah, I need to know a lot about most of the nouns in that sentence. I would like some more background, perhaps.
What do you want to know?
Well, for one thing, you must have plenty of competent people in Colorado. Why ask us to come all the way out here and deal with your children?
Divided loyalty, that's why. I trust my guards, but they don't leave my side. Ever. Everybody else is making plans for when I'm gone. The 100 families, the Gippers, the Marshals, they're all out for themselves. And they know my kids would make good figureheads, give them some legitimacy. Any Coloradan I send to bring Vic, Val, and Libby back home might think they'll get a better deal elsewhere. But not you. I'm the only one who can save your people. Nobody else can get supplies to Arizona before they starve to death. That's why it's you who's doing this. You've got the only loyalty that works. The loyalty of self-interest.
What should we know about Victory?
Boy's never been right in the head. Since he was a baby, he'd torture cats, terrorize the servants, set the house on fire, and he's only got worse. The things he's done to the women he finds. Anyway, I finally had enough and put the little monster under house arrest up in Aspen. Guess they weren't prepared because he escaped a while ago and then came back with a gang of freaks and turned the place into a slaughterhouse. Now he's on the radio, laughing about what he's gonna do to his hostages and daring me to come after him. He, claims he's captured some rangers as well.
There were other survivors from our convoy. That's great news. This doesn't sound like great news. Yeah, he'd better not hurt those rangers. Although saying this, it sort of sounds like a threat. I'm going to go this way and maybe have the Patriarch think I'm a dummy, rather than have him think I'm threatening him.
Don't get your hopes up. Vic likes to play with hostages. Might not be much left by the time you find them.
Alright, well, that's real bad news all the way around. What kind of man is Valor?
Soft, spoiled, fiddled with computers all day instead of learning the arts of diplomacy and war. Finally packed him off when he accidentally crashed my security systems right before his sister's little coup attempt. Made him my official ambassador to the Gippers, hoping he'd do to their systems what he'd done to mine. That was a mistake. He took his revenge by convincing them to cut off oil shipments to my city. No oil means no heat, no light, and no food for my people. So getting Valor back and resuming oil shipments from the Gippers has to happen now.
So Valor isn't dangerous, then?
No, but the Gippers are tough and well-armed, and Denver's a death trap.
So I don't, off the top of my head, know how far apart Aspen and Denver are, but Colorado's big country, right? Like, the American West has a lot of space in it. I guess we do have the Killmobile. Why don't you tell us about Liberty?
Liberty's got more brains and cunning than both her brothers put together. She's the only one who could actually run Colorado. Problem is, she'd run it as a goddamn slave state. Everyone in chains, everyone working for her. Wouldn't worry about her for now, though. Best to wait until you got a little more firepower. She's gonna be well protected.
You're expecting her to try to usurp you.
She's already tried once. Got all the way to the palace steps before we chased her off. She's been licking her wounds out east ever since.
Alright, well, the way this guy tells the story, he does seem like the good guy in a pretty unequivocal way, but of course, that is his version of the story, right?
You'd better. Anything else?
Yeah, probably a lot of things, actually. I'd like to ask about the Dorseys in the ambush.
Uh-huh.
Who are these Dorseys exactly?
The last dregs of a treacherous family. Thought I'd wiped them out years ago, but mistakes linger, Rangers. I know that better than most.
Do you think maybe Vic, Val, or Liberty were behind the attack on our convoy?
Possibly, but I know the Dorseys from the old days. They don't take orders well. Then again, I wouldn't have guessed they'd have the guts to attack both you and Colorado Springs at the same time. So somebody put some fire in them.
And it sounds like maybe some material resources. Why do you say the ambush was your fault?
My staff and I coordinated the details of your arrival using coded transmissions on radio frequencies we thought were secure. Obviously, they were not. And you paid for it. I take full responsibility.
I am not 100% sold on the idea that he was not responsible for that in some way. Like, you know, maybe whittle our force down but fail to kill us, and then use the fact that we are weakened to make us, like, totally indebted to him. Like, how would we survive without his help? And, you know, I'm still real suspicious about everything that's going on here.
Good. What else do you need?
I guess nothing else, because I cannot barter with you. Thank you for the briefing, Patriarch.
Of course. Now, if you want a chance to impress me, and maybe get a little payback, that call I got outside was from Sheriff Daisy, the head of the Marshals in Colorado Springs. She's having trouble rousting some Dorseys who have been holed up in the Garden of the Gods since their raid fell apart. Why don't you go give her a hand? Show us what the Rangers can do.
Okay, we're not getting into this kind of relationship. Oh, Dorseys. Well, this'll be a pleasure.
Enjoy yourselves, Rangers. Just don't get killed. I want a return on my investment. All right, let's move out.
Was that me leveling up just now? Boy, that's... What is that? I mean, I guess we're gonna go find out in a minute here. So, like I was saying before, as these were characters from XCOM, they didn't have a whole lot of personality before. And while I'm trying to build Jim as like a little bit more pleasant of a person than Skelly, let's not mistake that for him being like a nice guy, which he totally might not be. All right, so we get an attribute point at level 3. Not a terribly unusual system. Do I want to take more coordination? So this is not actually another action point. We get another action point at 6, though. Or do I want to increase awareness? Like, perception seems like it probably matters, although we don't exactly know what it does. There's not enough text, man. I need to know what all the stats actually do. I'm going to take it as a point of... And this is 0.1 combat speed, a little bit of initiative, a little bit of evasion. Really tough to say. I'm going to give her a little more awareness. 3% range damage bonus plus some hit chance. It seems pretty good. And then more skill points. Do we want to... Oh, these start to get more expensive. Yeah, it'll cost 2 points to buy that, and another 2 points beyond it to buy that one. What does Powder Packer do again? Yes, I did just look at it, and yes, I have forgotten. I kind of want to grab Powder Packer. I don't know exactly how desperate we're going to be for ammunition, but... You know, I would like to be able to shoot people with my guns. I think we're going to lean way into the weapon modding thing with her. Yeah, let's go ahead and confirm those, and then we did not get any perk points. Jim, what does Jim get? Jim's gonna take some intelligence, When does he get a bonus action point? 2 skill points. Or 2 attribute points, rather. I kind of want to push Jim's intelligence. Plus 1 skill point every 2 intelligence, so... We're not close to a threshold there, but 2% crit chance... Increasing the size of his leadership aura range seems pretty good, too. Yeah, I'm really not sure. I'm gonna push Jim as kind of a smart guy. He should probably have some more coordination too, but one thing at a time. And then when's the next important handgun perk? Trick shot. I kind of like trick shot. Can we get to 5 points right now? No, it would take 4 skill points to do that. Let's take a level of small arms. We're gonna dig in on his pistol skill thing, and then also another level of leadership. I want to kind of like try to establish some elements of Jim's character, mechanically speaking, here. All right. Jim can be pleasant, but also he's got a little bit of a mean streak, and he's definitely into revenge. That's what I'm deciding right now. So is there anything in these containers, or are these just places where we can store stuff? No, there's totally things in here. 13 Colorado bucks, an exo knee. Hey, that's pretty cool. But it says it requires 1 armor modding to wear. No, sorry. So if I... Can I not even see it in my inventory if I don't have the required stats? Oh no, it's just not... These things are not sorted by newness. Okay, so am I not allowed to put it on at all? It's not like the it's not like the gun where it just not having the appropriate skill just makes it less effective. Okay. Well, somebody should learn how to mod armor at some point then. Let's have a quick look around and see what else was left behind here. Money and another one of those very fine watches. Money and... Just don't think about it, you know. Listen, if you want to put it in a plastic bag before you put it in your pocket, we understand. Nothing but static on the radio. Maybe I should have just, Actually, get up here. Let's stick together. Maybe I should have put more points into lockpicking in the hopes that it would... Oh, actually, some of those doors that were lockpicking impossible seem like they're just opened.
Talk to me when you've got a moment. Want to discuss staffing and recruiting, that kind of thing.
All right, I guess.
Good job, Rangers. Nice to be able to hear ourselves think again. And now that it's quiet enough to talk, let me reintroduce you to the great Sergei Greatsky, who's going to be helping you with personnel.
Hi again, Rangers. Damn sorry about your people. But now that you're here, we'll do what we can to get you back on your feet and find you some new recruits, just like the Patriarch promised you. And I already got you one of the best. Meet Marcelo Gonzalez, electronics wizard, radio technician, and former dispatcher for the Marshals. He'll be your radio operator.
Howdy, Rangers. While you were dealing with the alarms, I took the liberty of installing a combat AI in your vehicle. Should help you out. If you want to chat, I'll be in the operations room getting things up and running.
Should help you out and also spy on you very effectively.
Should be more recruits arriving soon. Ready to tell me how you want to fill out your squad?
Oh, sure, I guess. I have a couple of questions first, though.
Of course. Ask away.
What was the deal with the alarms and the robots exactly?
Not sure exactly. We came by a week and a half ago and it was stone quiet.
We were gonna get the place cleaned up before you got here. But then the Dorseys attacked the city, so it got put on the back burner.
Something must have triggered the security systems between then and now. Could have been anything.
That is very curious. How long has this place been abandoned?
Patriarch chased out the last big gang maybe 10 years back. Before that, all kinds of bandits, militias, and cults have lived here since the deluge.
Recently, it's been mostly outlaws and refugees. We should check around to see if there are any current occupants.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing.
Could be what set off the alarms.
Why don't you and Quan tell us more about yourselves?
Well...
Well, Sergey won't blow his own horn, so I'll do it for him. He's
Oh, you want me to leave
Colorado's
you guys
greatest
alone?
war hero. Fought by the Patriarch's side from the beginning and saved the old man's life about 100 times, right, Sergey?
75. Tops. Now, let me tell you about Mr. Slick here. Nobody knows the streets and alleys of Colorado Springs, or the people that live there, better than dashing Darius Quan.
You're too kind, Sergey.
I kind of love how these guys just like are really unreservedly fond of each other. And you two like volunteered for this?
Yeah, I was getting a little itchy doing the same old in the marshals.
And retirement was driving me stir-crazy. Just sitting around listening to the paint peel. I jumped at the chance to help you folks out.
You both seem awful eager to help a group of unknown outsiders. Why are you really here? Oh man, maybe Rattier Jim's really paranoid. That could be a fun character note.
That's no lie that I've been looking to leave the marshals, but you're right. That's not the whole story. The Patriarch asked me to keep an eye on you, so here I am.
And I am truly sick of retirement. But, yeah, I'm doing the Patriarch a favor too.
So, you're spies.
Let's say liaisons. The Patriarch wants you to succeed, and he knows it's not going to be easy. You're strangers in a strange land.
You don't know the politics. You don't know the personalities. Who hates who? Where the bodies are buried.
That's where we come in. We're here to make sure you don't make too many rookie mistakes, step on the wrong toes. And yeah, we're supposed to report back to the Patriarch about how you're doing. But you didn't really expect to be left completely to your own devices, did you?
Well, the fact that they're upfront about it does make me feel like they're maybe a little more trustworthy, but that could all be the ploy. I think having Rattier Jim be really paranoid works out well, because it'll mean that I can just indulge my own very paranoid nature and claim it's Jim's fault. So what's the deluge? We've been hearing that word a lot.
Around these parts, we call the nuclear apocalypse the deluge of fire, because, well, that's what it was.
Noah's flood was the deluge of water.
Yes, thank
the
you.
nukes were the deluge of fire.
And also there's been a lot of talk about a deluge of blood, but I think that's just how the Dorseys refer to the act of great fun murder times. So now, what was that radio operator saying about putting a combat AI in our vehicle? Because I extremely did not consent to that.
Gonzalez? He's a whiz with stuff like that. The AI will allow you to give the vehicle orders in combat without having to be inside it. Basically, it'll become another member of your squad.
Okay, all of a sudden I'm on board. That's all you had to say. You get to use your killdozer in combat now. Okay, all is forgiven.
Okay, what's next?
I guess show us who you got lined up?
My advice is to put together a squad with complementary skills. Nobody can be great at everything. So, pick recruits who are good at things your current team isn't. And you can always round out your squad with folks you meet along the way. Keep that in mind when you're choosing from the recruits I've rounded up.
Okay. A player-created character is required in each party. That's an interesting way to word that. So, yeah, show me the new recruits. Okay, so we're going to be, like, doing a whole maintenance of an army kind of thing. What is that? A Nailer submachine gun. Nailer cartridges bathe their ammo in semi-toxic oil. Ooh. So, like, what are we looking for right now? I guess a technology guy might be good. And then also, you know, a mechanic. Mechanic's not a bad idea. A sniper? She didn't have a sniper rifle, unfortunately. It's kind of like the core thing. Or I could just build a new character whenever I want. Is that the case? Yo, you're just gonna let me have... Okay. I wonder how limited we're going to be on these. Like, there's no way you get to just build as many as you want, right? So we're probably only going to be able to get a certain number of them every so often. Alright. I'm going to build us another character. That's going to happen. Probably, instead of us picking a new one. But I'll do that between this episode and the next one. Let's just have a look around the base first.
Listen,
I'm good.
I
I'm
can
good to
get you
go.
all the fighting troops you need. But if you meet any talented people in your travels, don't hesitate to sign them up. Now that we've got that sorted, let's talk about the next steps. Now, you're the boss here, so I'm not going to tell you what to do, but getting this place up and running wouldn't be a bad place to start. That means surveying the base and finding specialists to staff it.
Yeah, surveying the base sounds like a pretty good idea.
Perfect. That'll give you a chance to see if any of the junk around here is worth keeping, before I toss it all out. After that, you might want to give Sheriff Daisy a hand. If you impress her, maybe she'll hook you up with some specialists for the base. Anyway, your call. Colorado Springs is straight out the main gate. If you want to go to Denver or Aspen, just hop back in your car and go out the way you came in.
Okay, so we're right on the edge of the Patriarch's, main citadel. That's an important thing to remember, in case. Yeah, thanks for the info.
One sec. Forgive me for saying so, but I'm guessing you folks are gonna need as much help in the field as you will here in HQ. So, what if I joined your squad? At least until you find your feet.
Yeah, I'm into that. I could, of course, use the help. And what, he's not going to spy on us any more from inside the party than he would from here. I can't imagine.
Great. I'm at your disposal. Lead the way.
So we could have asked him what his capabilities are. Or we could just go in here and look at them real quick ourselves. He's a level 4 law keeper. What does that mean in practice? It means he has coordination and strength and some charisma. Being a peacekeeper means he has a bunch of bonus initiative, which seems useful. Real good at automatic weapons and sweet-talking people and being sneaky. Basically, he's angling for Jim's job. But he doesn't have the raw, charismatic leadership necessary, and he does already know puncturing shot. Okay. Man, that seems pretty good. Deals bonus damage versus stunned targets. Well, we'll just have to try to figure out how to stun some people. Alright. Everybody up. Let's go have a look around. Quan, you can go first. Alright, a lot of corpses.
Somebody's been using this medbay for a morgue. Gonna take an ocean bleach to get it ready for customers.
So we have the dialogue indicator with some of these. This desiccated husk of a man is little more than a skeleton covered in papery skin. Yeah, first aid 1? I should get first aid on somebody. I didn't leave any skill points, did I? Jim should learn a point of first aid. We should have, very basics. Alright, next time we level up, I'm gonna totally remember that, and we're gonna do that. This female corpse is bloated and putrefied. One of her arms is entirely missing, and black ichor oozes from her swollen torso. That seems very bad. We should not just leave her on the floor. There's a pile of corpses in this corner. I cannot first aid these corpses. This leathery corpse is missing several of his digits and facial features. I'm assuming that the first aid check will, let us determine a cause of death or something. Alright, so we got a basement down here with a lock that we cannot pick, and it looks like... Is that a bowling alley? No, okay, sorry. From back here, I thought it was this is the shape of a bowling pin, and that's the ball, and this is a different pin. Yeah. Listen, it's not that silly. Why couldn't there be a bowling alley, I ask you? Who doesn't love to bowl? What else is there to do in Colorado, right? Apologies in advance to all of my Coloradan viewers. We see a tripwire, and we do not have the ability to disable it.
If we can get it all running, this will be a good spot for your armory.
Well, can I walk around it? Yes, okay. Hooray for perception. What have we here? This terminal is displaying information about the base's systems. All seems normal right now. Check the recent activity logs. The only log you can find on this terminal relates to a massive data wipe from several decades ago. Alright, well... Big bag of trash? This is not trash. This is a lot of useful bullets. Who's throwing bullets in the trash? Very irresponsible. I don't mean to actually be playing Quan like a potential sacrifice. It's just I really don't want to be moving multiple characters around in here. Have somebody pass through a tripwire, you know? Alright, let's check the other side. So we have a med bay, we have a who knows what door, and we have a place where I sure would like to clear those tripwires.
Pretty grand in here. Maybe you can make it your trophy hall or museum or something.
What's that sound?
A handball court.
A razorback. What kind of armor is Quan wearing? Quan has no gear at all and 0 points of armor. Okay. Let's get Skelly in front. There's a couple of them. And I assume we could start up with one of them, but the moment the gunfire starts, they're all going to come running. I would like to take over this sight line over here. I can't. Well, I can't shoot. There we go. Wait, does the cat have an actual turn? Huh. I thought the cat was like basically a cosmetic, like a buff. Can I get a better shot on that razorback? No, he's benefiting from cover for some reason. Well, this guy's a little more in the open, so I'm going to trust everybody else to work on that. Alright, Jim, tell me you can clear that dude out. Maybe I should move up on him a little bit. I have no sense of how fast they're going to be, unfortunately. Really? Why is this 64%, but this over here is 74%? Why is that a better shot? I guess you just take better shots when you have cover? Yep, even if you don't have cover against the thing you're shooting at. Everybody likes to lean against a wall while firing their gun. Okay. And then I'm just going to have you bank those points. Can I get to cover and get that enhanced shot percentage? I sure can. That's kind of a weird system, huh? Alright, let's hope this thing isn't too fast. Wow, the cover was not helpful. Okay, so that guy is spiky, and you should not melee him. I'm a little surprised at how bad Quan's shot against this thing is. You'd think he could just like lean around the thing and take care of it. Alright, well, we got some Wolverine fur. Is that what those were? Wolverines. And an icy carapace shard. It's just junk, but it's valuable junk. So hey, Skelly's poisoned. What do we do about that? Okay. So she's just gonna take some damage periodically. We don't really have to do anything about it, actually. I don't think I have any antidotes or anything anyway. It is interesting, though, that the duration of it is measured in seconds and not turns. The power button on the machine resists your press, seemingly rusted in place. It makes a sandy crunch as it finally gives way. The screen comes to life with a sad beep. Raid failure. Corruption detected across multiple sectors. Initiating automated repair operations. Recovery complete. View recovered logs? Yeah, absolutely. There are fewer personnel logs than you'd expect for a base this size. Many have suffered data corruption and are unrecoverable, but you find a few that are legible. Personal log, Colonel Fourchette, 22 March 1998. The world ended yesterday. Our missile defense system saved Colorado Springs, but Denver is gone, and we can't make contact with anyone outside the state. Discipline will keep my men in line, but we've only got a few days until the civilians panic. We'll need to prepare to hold out until we can reconnect with Washington. Okay, well that gives us some useful setting information. Let's go back to the root logs archive. What about the security logs? Filtering tools help you cull the routine and wholly corrupted reports. You may need a computer expert to access some of the files. Wow, there's a lot here. I'm realizing now I don't actually know what year it is. They probably told us during the opening, but I'm spacey. Alright, well let's check this. Interesting that these are reported in... This is not the way Americans usually report dates. The month goes first. So I wonder if... I guess I don't know how the military does things. Maybe the military does it day, month, year. Report 01, classified information purge initiated. Report 002, erasure complete, command cleared, fully autonomous security system activating in T-minus 30 T-minus 30 minutes. Report 003, intrusive movement detected on outer perimeter, monitoring. Report 004, intruders retreated without engagement, monitoring. Alright, and then, almost 9 years later, Report 015, intrusive movement detected on outer perimeter, monitoring. Report 016, quadrupedal creature identified as non-hostile, monitoring, deprioritized. Report 025, creature remains. Report 088, creature departs. Incidents monitored without engagement, 1,846. Incidents involving security response, 5. Interesting. January 2010. Report 098, intrusive movement detected on outer perimeter, monitoring. Report 099, bipedal creature approaches facility, deploying servitors. Report 100, intruder pacified. Incidents monitored without engagement, 2008. Incidents involving security response, 9. Report 100A, automated amendment. Intention was for intruder. Logging technological review request with information technology regarding Report 100. Intention was for intruder. Alright, and then the next log is, 58 and a half years later. Report 750. Intruder 032 returns to War Room, starts fire for intruders 30, 31, and 33. Intruder 34 is providing them with a meal. Logging requisition request for additional servitors following abduction of core servitors 005 through 010 by Intruder 11. This request has been logged 1,500 times. Priority elevated. 1,501st is when they really start listening to you. Report 751. Attempting to wake remaining servitors. Wake attempt resulted in failure. Incidents monitored without engagement 7242. Incidents involving security response 15. So it's been quiet. Incidents with failed security responses 1. Incidents with inability to respond 4,000. Report 755. Intruder 034 now classified as deceased. Well, that's sad. I mean, it could just be a group of people. It could have been a family. And if 033 and 034 were the ones providing the fire and food, And then 2102. Report 001. System wake up complete. Accessing database. No new information since catastrophic failure reported. Yeah, so okay, things went offline for a while. Intruders 69 through 73 logged in War Room. Servitors not responding. I do think the the speech impediment is pretty cute. Has fully repaired monitoring systems. Intruder 069 has gained access to monitoring systems. Report 066, self-diagnostic complete. The servitors are present but unresponsive. Primary processing reports all goob. So whoever was in here in 2102 was fixing things up. These could be Patriarch's people. Again, I don't remember what year it is right now. 2107. Report 685. Intrusive movement detected at perimeter. Intruder 159 logged and approaching. Intruder 158 detects Intruder 159, returns to barracks. Various intruders seem perturbed and barricade door to barracks. Intruder 159 retreats after accessing war room and armory. Servitors remain unresponsive. Intruder 156 departs barracks, enters brig, and accesses computer terminal. Horrible intruders. Okay, the system's getting a little judgmental. Intruder 156 has initiated a generator restarb. Power coming online. Servitors waking. Rebel alert. Interesting. I'm real curious what's locked behind this. Alright, I think that's it for this thing. Feels like there's a portion of a story there. What does this say? A fallen billboard. Who put it here? Peek shares ammo with something. Poke. Oh, is Peek and Poke, is this like a Goofus and Gallant? I think it probably is. And those are the guys we've been seeing on the descriptions of all of our perks and stuff. So it's sort of like an in-universe style of what do you call it? In-universe style of characterization of the mechanics, which I think is kind of cool. I definitely saw something glowing over here. Yeah. Alright, more money and a burned book. You know, burned paper, roughly as valuable as silver. So I wonder if there's like passive healing over time, or if we can heal for free at the base, or if we're always going to have to use medical stuff to fix wounds like that. Got some energy cells and lots of bullets. Okay. Did that not... No, okay, I looted. Looks like there's nothing in the corner. Alright, well, I do not know what we would use this room for. I'm assuming most of these little computers are not operable, and even if they were, like, what would we do with them? I mean, maybe they still have Lotus Notes installed. What is over here? That looks like living people. Del Hackett. Yeah, Jim, you go first. I trust you to talk to a person.
Don't shoot.
The woman is gaunt, her clothes ragged. She's surrounded by a group of bedraggled vagrants who watch you with fear and mistrust.
Who are you? You're not dressed like the marshals?
I don't know. He kind of looks like a marshal. He's even got a little handkerchief. We're the Rangers. Who are you?
I'm Del Hackett, and I speak for these people. We've been living here for months, and we've got nowhere to go. Please, will you let us stay?
Bad idea. I've been in their shoes, but this is a military base. If we have squatters everywhere, it'll be hard to keep discipline. Your recruits won't like it either.
The Patriarch's people don't care about people like us, but you're not beholden to them.
She shoots a fearful look at Quan, but he doesn't seem to notice, on account of for some reason he's looking at the wall. Well, I mean, obviously we're going to let him stay, right? There's plenty of room, and, you know, we do need to replenish our numbers. Maybe some of them will want to join up out of, you know, gratitude or whatever. So, where are you from?
We all farmed in the border country between Colorado and the plains. Thought we were safe out there, under the Patriarch's protection. Back then, the gangs feared the Patriarch. Not anymore. They burned our greenhouses and killed everyone who tried to fight them. No place left to run but here. For any of us.
So it sounds like maybe the Patriarch is over-representing his strength to us. He's pretending he's more in control than he is. Did you guys set off the security system?
Not intentionally. The Patriarch's people drove up to the base a few days ago, so we hid in here for a while. Then when Andy went to check if they left, all the doors slammed shut and the alarms started whooping.
It's classic Andy.
Don't know what happened. Been living in these ruins for weeks, and we never set anything off before.
That is curious. Yeah, obviously you can stay.
Your call. Won't make the volunteers happy, but the Patriarch put you in charge, not them.
You said yes. I was sure you wouldn't.
The refugees' haggard faces break into smiles. A few of them hug each other.
There won't be any trouble, I promise, and we'll help out wherever we can. Thank you for giving us a chance.
I wonder if anybody kicks them out.
Oh, and one of our people is missing. Andy. If you find him hiding out somewhere, you send him back to us? Hear that, everyone? We gotta make ourselves useful around here.
Mostly, I'm just thinking, like, first of all, obviously, as a human being, the thing to do is to help the refugees. But also, I'm thinking, even if they don't want to, like, join up or anything, they could be really useful to us because they know the score around here and they don't work directly for the Patriarch. We might be able to get a different, perhaps slightly more honest version of the story of this place from them. A well-preserved tape from right after the war, containing a recording from a Peterson Air Force guard.
October 12th, 1998. 7 months since the bombs fell. Had an incident at the West Gate. Some civilians dug under the fence and tried to make a run for the commissary. Sergeant Peters told us to open fire. Standing orders. Looters to be shot on sight. They didn't look like much to me from 80 meters. And when we got close enough to inspect the bodies, I saw why. They looked like scarecrows. Just skin and bone. The oldest was maybe 15. Every time I close my eyes, I see that kid's face. God forgive me. I can't do this anymore.
You know, there's a bit of a tonal tightrope to be walked when you want to put heavy shit like that in your game, but also you want to have, like pee jokes, like a yellow snowball. I worry, is all I'm saying.
I wish more folks were like you, Rangers.
Sure was kind of you to let us stay. I wish more folks were like you, Rangers.
Sure was kind of you to let us stay. Sure was kind of you to let us stay.
Oh, you broke the pattern. What are you doing?
I wish more folks were like you, Rangers.
See, this guy gets it. He's trying to fix it.
You're good people, Rangers. We'll find a way to pay you back. Anything you need?
But yeah, you've had more time to explore the base than we have. Can we ask you about it?
Sure.
Did you touch any of the equipment in the war room?
Andy may have. He's the only one of us who knew computers. I told him to stay out of there because I was afraid of, well, of something like what happened when this whole place got locked down.
I'm a little worried about Andy, given the hostile wildlife that got in and also the tripwire traps. There might not be an Andy for us to find anymore. Have you checked out the medbay?
We stay away from that awful room. Nothing but death in there.
Yeah, but you could just, like, move the death out of there. That's my first job for them is, hey, could you move the death outside, please? Have you been in the brig?
Yep. There was a man locked in there when we moved in, living off insects and mushrooms in his cell. I left him locked up after I met him. I felt bad about that. He was cordial enough, but he just kept asking questions that felt off.
That's curious.
And those glassy eyes.
What did you find in the armory?
Booby traps, mostly. One of my people disarmed an explosive on a door, but missed a gas mine under the floor panel on the other side. She was vomiting for a week. Almost died. I told everyone to avoid the room after that. No one here is worth losing over whatever guns may or may not be in there.
Okay, so they were aware of the booby traps at least. Maybe Andy did survive. Think there's anything we could scavenge in the garage?
Poked my head in there and saw a giant robot next to a dead body. Hard pass.
Okay, she's smarter than I am, because I would definitely have checked it out and probably gotten killed by the robot. What's in the archive room?
We first got into the base through a hole in the archive room's wall. Some critters living in there chased us around, but we managed to shut them in before anyone got seriously hurt. We've been trying to snare them for a while for fresh meat, but they just chew through the ropes like they're Sour Patch Kids.
That's a weirdly specific reference, and also maybe another brand deal? Man, I would like some Sour Patch Kids, honestly.
Careful out there. It's an uncaring world.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Alright, I know the episode's getting a little bit long, but at this point I think we're gonna go ahead and just finish checking out the base before we call it.
Better get this up and running pronto. Keeping your people well fed is probably the easiest way to keep them loyal.
And as we all know, everybody cares a great deal about toast. Is there a fork in that toaster? Is that what's going on? Oh, I think there's a variety of forks in that toaster. Who would do such a thing? Requires toaster repair level 3. Am I remembering correctly that Quan had... No, I am not. Why did I think he had toaster repair? Well, I guess somebody ought to get toaster repair? Putting a toaster back together is like putting a piece of the pre-war world back together. I mean, I guess? Breakfast Bandit? Toasters have taught you a lot about thermodynamics. You know, this one and the last one sort of imply that there's some fire-related stuff going on here. Maybe Skelly's going to become an expert in toasters. That might be an interesting direction to take that character. Looks like there's not a lot else going on in this room, though. Somebody's going to have to clean up all that rubble. I'm definitely a little nervous about this dude. Waving at you through the bars of the cell is a pale, rail-thin man with matted hair and fraying, faded clothes. He gives you a lazy, glassy-eyed grin.
Hey, dudes. Hi. Well, what's up? Haven't seen you before. Have I?
No. We're the Rangers. This is gonna be our new headquarters.
Rangers, huh? Cool, man. Cool. I like your look. I think I had a shirt like that once, a long time ago. Long time ago. Headquarters for what?
Boy, how much do we wanna... the Rangers help people. We're here to help Colorado.
That's cool. Helping's good. I like helping. Are there, like, more of you here?
Boy. I'm definitely on edge. The little bit that Dell told us about him was very effective in setting expectations. Yeah, we found some recruits from the area, and more are joining soon.
Oh, hey, man, that's good. That's good, man. More, people hanging out. Cool, man, cool. So, hey, what?
I was thinking the same thing, man. I've actually got a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, man, of course. I don't mind. Ask me whatever.
Yeah, what's your name?
My name? Ned? Harry. Nick. Booger. Dickens. Lyle?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume it's not Booger.
I don't know.
This dude is giving one hell of a vocal performance.
Honestly, I don't, remember. Been a long time since I thought about that, man. Been a longer time since someone, asked me about it. I kind of been here for a while.
Yeah, how long exactly have you been here?
Couldn't tell you, man. Couldn't tell you. Like, there's no windows or clocks in here, Hard to keep track of when the day starts or ends. Anyway, a long time. Long enough for other groups, other people to come and go.
And how have you survived all that time?
You know, man, I got everything I need in here to keep on. Little crack in the ceiling over there drips some water. So I just gotta lick the wall when I'm thirsty. And, you know what they say about dark, damp spaces, man? Mushroom grow there, man.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to live for a long time.
So I added a little self-made fertilizer. Those mushrooms are growing good.
So you've been living off of just wall water and mushrooms.
Yeah, man, yeah. Yum, yum. Oh, yeah, and bugs, when they come by. Buzzy crunchers and climby snappers and skittery two-bites and running gushers. Sometimes roly poppers and hoppy specks. Once a squirmy slurp.
Running gushers is so gross.
That was a good day, man. But yeah, mainly mushrooms.
So, like, this is a huge lie, right? He could not possibly, unless he's not even human. Alright, can you tell us about any of the groups that have lived here before us?
Yeah, sure, maybe. Sometimes, like, a guy might come in, but I don't know if he was connected to the guy who came in before him, you know? Kinda hard to keep track of how long it is between visits. And people don't always tell me what's going on outside. But, let me see. Last guy who came in to see me was the dead guy. Before him, Tired Eyes Lady. Before her, the Smiling Woman. Before that, it's a little fuzzy.
Alright, I'm guessing based entirely on vocal performance here, but I'm thinking Tired Eyes Lady is Dell, which means dead guy could be Andy, but it could be somebody else. Why don't you tell me about the dead guy?
Oh man, that's some wild stuff. So a while ago, that dead guy over there came running in here.
Oh, apparently there's a dead guy in here.
Freaked out and starts messing with that computer machine over there. And yeah, then there's this big-ass flash of light from the computer machine, and he falls down, and then all these sirens and flashing lights. It was horrible, man. Like, it made it really hard to sleep, you know? Then after a while, the alarm stopped, and then, well, you came in.
Huh. I wonder exactly what happened with that computer. We'll investigate this dude in a second. Tell us about the Tired Eyes Lady.
Well, she was a woman, dressed all raggedy, but, I'm one to talk on that. Anyway, she came in here looking sad. Eyes looked like she hadn't seen a good night's rest in years. We talked for a bit, and then she left again. Sometimes I think I can still hear her voice. Hope she didn't die and she's haunting me for some reason. Though now that I think about it, I guess I'd be glad for the company, you know?
How about the Smiling Woman?
Oh, a real nice lady, man. Had a big old smile on her face the whole time we talked. Just never stopped smiling. I think she said she was a trader. Talked about how she had some merchandise to keep here and some people she was gonna deal with.
Why would she tell him she was going to keep merchandise here?
Said I wasn't a suitable client, which, sure, cause I got no money. Well, actually, she said I wouldn't be suitable for her clients, which I thought was a weird way to say that.
I thought this dude's memory was all fuzzy. So, sorry, what did you mean by a little fuzzy?
You know, man, it's, I've been here a long time, and I eat a lot of mushrooms. Can't always remember things that happened in olden days, but I'll try. There was a gentleman bear, the lip licker, and the bloody screamers, and them metal fellers, and the really white guy, and owl face. Oh, and the 6 wee men and a lion. But, yeah, hard to remember who came in first, and, which ones were just a nursery rhyme my grandma told me, so... yeah...
You reckon he's a vampire? I mean, something ain't right here.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
So why are you even in there?
Because, the cell door is locked.
Yeah, that's not what I was asking, and you damn well know it. Why were you put in there?
Oh man, didn't you like my joke?
No, it was bad and lazy.
Okay, like, well, so a guy I used to be friends with, well, I guess he was more of a business partner. Friend though, too, man. Like, former friend who decided he didn't, want to go split seas anymore, so he conked me on the head. And when I woke up, I was in here. Real bummer, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah, it sounds like a bummer. Do you want me to let you out?
Oh, man, yes, please. Very much.
You're calling this one, Rangers, but really, I just let nature take its course here, if you know what I mean.
I'd really like to get out of here. Really.
Okay. We should let this dude out. Apparently, the way this dialogue is phrased, I'm assuming we can't just open the door. But I feel like we should let this dude out. There's no way he's just been surviving on mushrooms and bugs. That ain't the truth. So he probably actually can get out already, is my suspicion. So we're not, like, necessarily making ourselves any safer by continuing this charade. But also, like, what kind of people are we, right? I'm not just gonna leave this dude locked up in here. The Patriarch's ways clearly ain't working so well for the Patriarch. We're gonna do things the Ranger way, which is to say, we'll see what we can do. I mean, no, which is to say, we will definitely find a way to get you out, my friend.
Really? Oh, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man, you're just the tops. The beanies. I owe you big time. Thanks, man. Thanks so much.
Okay, and this one does just tell us straight up we need level 5 lockpicking. Alright, well, Rattier Jim's gonna make that a personal mission. Because Rattier Jim believes strongly that a man shouldn't be imprisoned for no discernible reason. So I guess we're gonna find this is Andy, huh? The body of a young man lies twisted on the floor. He wears shabby clothes, and he's been dead long enough for the body to go cold, but not long enough to rot. I don't actually know off the top of my head how long it takes for rot to set in. Let's search the body thoroughly with our incredible perception. The man was carrying nothing but the clothes he wore on his body, and those are tattered and grimy. His shoes have holes in their soles. In one of his pockets, you find a half-eaten, sweet-smelling mushroom. I guess that's all we're getting from it?
What's going on with the dead guy? Is he, alright?
That's a pretty weird question to ask there, friend. So, we are to believe that he got lit up by the computer to death? Seems awfully suspicious to me. Do these all require... I'm not actually even allowed to open most of them. Most of them are just cosmetic. And there's some junk in there that's hard to get to. What is this? Huh. Well, okay. I guess that's probably going to solve that problem, huh? Let's have a look at this computer. The terminal displays information about the base's systems. Recent activity logs. OS, wake initiated, wake complete, credentials rejected, credentials accepted. Login, admin, password, admin. Yeah, that's a classic for a reason. OS loading default admin operations, backup generators initialized, automated security lockdown initiated, login required, credentials rejected, station locking out user due to multiple failed login attempts. The terminal displays information, The terminal does not suggest that it did anything to harm the dude. I mean, maybe it was a power surge, but that ain't how computers and power work. So, Alright, just a tin can? That's weird. I'm gonna let him out. I'm nervous, as you could probably tell, but...
Oh, yay! Thank you so much, man. I owe you big, real big time. Thanks for, the assist, dudes. I owe you.
Follow him. I mean, if he's just leaving, I'm cool with that. If he's gonna be a problem, but he's gonna be someone else's problem, then, whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. I was just thinking, if he wanted to stay here, he could potentially, decide to wait for his moment and then start killing people or something, but... if he's just leaving, it seems like we're unlikely to see any real consequences from this either way. Savory smelling mushroom. Yeah, try it and see. Just on success, maybe it'll help. Could be harmless, could be toxic. Well... so I guess maybe the mushrooms will keep growing? Maybe we'll be able to get a variety of mushrooms here in the future. So... wait, is there a door that we totally missed? Oh no, that's the... on the map, that's the med bay, right? Because it's this... I'm having a hard time orienting myself to this map. So this is the med bay... okay, we need to go south from that hallway. I guess I just sort of assumed that the doors in this hallway went outside, but yeah, this is the garage. That makes sense. Well, let's check it out. So that is a big-ass robot. No two ways about that. Let's use this door.
A garage. If we get this cleaned out, you can put your truck in here.
Yeah. Interesting. So... I get a talk prompt with the robot, huh? You know, Marshal Quan does have the greatest health of anyone in the party. It's not popping up a combat awareness circle, so I guess we're gonna go have a look at it. This enormous spider-like robot is in bad shape. It twitches in a puddle of its own fluids, its casing dented and riddled with bullet holes. Judging by the scrape marks on the floor, it looks like someone dragged it into the garage from somewhere else. Let's examine it, I guess. You recognize it as a Slicer-Dicer, a pre-apocalypse military robot. It appears to have been badly damaged in a firefight and is missing some of its weapons. Upon closer inspection, you note that some of the bullet holes have been patched, and several of the legs show signs of recent welding. The Slicer-Dicer's main access panel is open, revealing its wiring and power plant. It's clear that someone has been trying to repair the robot. But for right now, I guess it's not a threat. The corpse of a young woman lies at your feet, her body contorted at an unnatural angle. Judging by the smell, she's been here a while. The woman is wearing a patchwork jumpsuit and a leather tool belt. Her pockets are crammed with fuses, bundles of wire, and bits of ancient circuit boards. Looks like this Wastelander made her living by scavenging and repairing electronics. She would have felt right at home in an old garage like this. I wonder if she was the one repairing the robot and she just, did something wrong and it, accidentally... something backfired and that's how she died. It's a pretty sad story if so. Okay, well we got ourselves a garage. Couple of trucks with potentially some loot in them. This terminal is displaying information about the base's systems. Let's see the activity logs here. Terminal also controls some nearby vehicle lifts, but currently indicates they're all unresponsive. Try to recall the platform here. A loud grinding emanates from the huge trapdoor near the garage's entrance. The smell of rusted metal sparking fills the room. Mechanical failure reported. A servitor drone has been issued a repair order. Well, something tells me that ain't actually going to happen. Let's get out of here. So if we get one more point of lockpicking on Jim, we can open some of this stuff in here. That'll be a priority. Next time he levels up, lockpicking and first aid and some other stuff, presumably. Do the servitors know that they were issued a repair order? Probably not, it would seem. Oh, also, there's a thing over here. Ooh. So requires 3 strength, gives more armor than the other one, but an action point penalty. That feels like a pretty serious penalty to me. Alright, hey, Marshal Quan, good news. I found you some clothes. These are the good things. I mean, we're probably gonna, no offense to Marshal Quan here, but we're probably gonna have him stepping up in front of people a lot, because on account of he's got all the HP. So I guess it makes sense to make him the armored one as well. Yeah, alright. Well, I think we have a rough idea of what's going on around here. Let's go talk to our radio operator real quick, and then I think we'll call it for the day. Gonzalez seems at home behind his radio equipment. He salutes crisply as you approach.
Welcome to your communications hub, Rangers. The Patriarch was good enough to let me use my own gear, and I have my high-frequency radio equipment all set up. From here on out, I will be your voice in the wind. You can contact Ranger HQ at any time through your radio, and I'll reach out as needed. When there's arrests to be made under your authority, just radio them into me. Pleasure to serve.
Huh. You would think that I would want to affect those arrests personally. Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this radio equipment?
The finest setup you'll find this side of the Rockies. This equipment took years to get together. A lot of it custom work. String and pieces of gum, you know? This is the only setup in Colorado able to communicate on all sorts of frequency bands, up to the HF band. That means we can reach you pretty much no matter where you are in Colorado. The basic controls are straightforward. You should try the device yourselves whenever you're here. I've picked up all kinds of signals. It's possible you could even reach Arizona.
Hey, what do you think about the Patriarch? Guy who definitely works for the Patriarch and is not necessarily going to tell me the truth about anything.
I've worked the radio for some time now, and I hear all kinds of stories from other parts of the world. Horrors you wouldn't believe. Is Colorado perfect? No, but it's a damn sight better than any alternative I've seen.
And how do you feel about being part of the Rangers, which you apparently are now?
Speaking frankly, great. Protect and serve, right? Things had grown stale with the Marshals. I felt like I'd reached the end of what I could do for the people there. Proud to be a Ranger now.
I mean, I don't remember inducting this dude, but it's fine. Hey, can you tell us again what it is you do here?
I'm your radio communications expert. I'll be manning the radio whenever you call in, or whenever we need to reach you, which is the easy part of this job. The hard part is keeping this equipment in tip-top shape and ready to go.
You installed our car AI. Are you an expert? This is such a weird question.
Oh, I'm not. It just turns out artificial intelligence isn't that much different from fiddling with radios. Easy enough to install, it turned out, but I wouldn't know the first thing about it otherwise.
That is very not comforting. Goodbye then.
Anytime.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't like that dude messing with my car. Alright, well, I guess we're sort of set up now, and I think that's a pretty good place to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, probably there'll be some real gameplay. I bet. And we'll see you then.